I
through your
want
list
Vince
for
to
us.
start.
I never said that. Okay, well, I may have described this list as arse cheeks, but that was in
Are
jest.
we backtracking right now?
No, not backtracking. Yeah.
Oh.
Sam, you're literally Frodo right now.
He's the hero.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 68 of the Gollum's Gamers podcast, where today we are back with another GBHL 100 preview episode, and today we are going to be covering Ardacon, which is one of the biggest international MESBG tournaments in the world, at 700 points, which is being held this weekend. Now, tonight I'm joined by Ali, Vince, and a very special guest who managed to win Ardacon last year. It's Dave Farmer. So all four of us are actually going to Ardacon this year. But Dave, I'm going to hand over to you first of all. How are you feeling heading into the event as you look to defend your Ardacon title?
Yeah, pretty good. I found Ardacon is like a big tournament, but I found a lot of I don't know. I had not to sound. I mean, like you get like difficult matchups occasionally, but you often can dodge difficult matchups as well through the team format. Last year we kind of gamed it a little bit. I wouldn't say that was our intent when we created the team, but that ultimate effect was it meant that a large group of the top players there didn't have to play each other.
We had an all-star squad. Yes.
Yeah.
That's what happens when the Aussies throw shade at us. And then
Well,
we're
yeah.
but also, actually, generally, when you've got big events, you get half the players aren't there to like actually fully compete and win the whole thing. They're sort of just more, especially if it's an international thing, just going for the fun of it. And like, some may be there for doubles, some may be there for painting awards, some may be just there because they may drag them along because they need a car.
I basically I like seeing a lot of the internationals. I'm hoping, I don't know how many of them are coming this year, but I'm hoping there's some people I see like twice a year, but really, or maybe 3 times if I'm lucky. So that's why that's the thing I think is the only thing that's kind of worth it for me. Also, it's worth GBHL points, and I want those. So.
For sure. He does want the 100 points. But yes, it draws in the international crowd. There's a lot more to Ardacon than just the 2-day weekend sort of main quote-unquote tournament. There's the doubles and the masters and everything, so it's like a 5-day long tournament. But all of us are just going for the 2 days. Or Vince, are you going for the doubles? Are you?
Yeah.
Or are you just going? You're going for that as
Going
well?
to doubles as well.
Nice. Now, before we get underway, just thought I'd mention first of all, I do have a bit of a cough at the moment. If I mute the microphone, it will mute the audio for the whole call and you won't be able to hear anything. So I will try and keep my dying to a minimum. But a quick reminder before we get underway to go and get your Lemon Cup tickets. Our very first tournament that we're running on the 20th and 21st of September. So for more information, the event pack as well as the podcast that we made to talk about the event are linked down in the description. So go and check those out for all of your Lemon Cup goodness. Now, since we're previewing Ardacon today, it'd be rude to go any further without plugging for the millionth time here that I'm going to be live streaming at Ardacon here on our YouTube channel. So I'm going to be at the event this weekend, live streaming some games from Ardacon. Now, if you haven't seen the other tournament streams that I've done, I will link them down in the description. But yes, it's this weekend, 16th and 17th of August. I'll be live all day on both days. So please do come and stop by the stream and check it out. But as always, you can find us on Instagram and Spotify by following the links in the description down below. And also please consider subscribing to us here on YouTube, as a large proportion of people watching aren't actually subscribed. So please do, if you enjoy everything that we do here on the channel. Okay, so kicking things off here with some statistics for the event. Now, a very big shout out indeed to James Clark from the Ardacon team for like 12 hours after the list submission deadline passed. He got all the lists over to me so that I could put these stats together ready in time for us to record this preview today. So big shout out to James for sure. Now, worth mentioning though, this is only like 3/4 of all of the lists, as the other quarter of the people attending the event haven't submitted their list on time. But as we're recording, yes, we've got like 100 of 135-ish lists, so it's a pretty good gauge on how things are going to look at the tournament. So for the factions, or I guess I can't really call it the faction statistics, they're not factions anymore, they're army lists.
Army list, yeah.
The army list statistics. In the top spot with 6 appearances, we have Army of the White Hand, 700 points, very, very strong indeed. Then in a 4-way tie for second place with 5 appearances, we have the Depths of Moria, no surprise, Halls of Thranduil, the Reclamation of Osgiliath, and Ugluk Scouts with 4 appearances. In a 6-way tie, I won't go any further after this, we have the Army of Erebor, the Battle of 5 Armies, the Black Gate, Lothlorien, Moria, and Rivendell. Obviously, a number of other lists after that. So,
as some breaking news, we can confirm there also should be 6 Halls of Thranduil because one of the late players, which
is one of those players, Jay. How do you know I didn't already bake that into the statistics, Ali? Maybe I knew before you did.
Did you?
Yes.
Okay.
So there we go.
Okay.
So initial takeaways. What do we think, Farmer? Over to you.
Unsurprising top lists. 700 no legacies is a known PowerPoint for Army of the White Hand. Although I do think that it's maybe off its perch a little bit with the new scenarios. It's not bad at them by any means. Don't get me wrong. It's just its strongest play style is less strong than it was.
Yeah.
Like it's just obvious.
There's more other good stuff as well that can deal or compete with it.
Yeah, and like being able to sit back and guaranteed in 4 out of 6 scenarios is so good for that list. And now that you
none of that stuff though, Ali, is in these top sort of 8 lists other than the Army of Erebor though.
Moria
really being taken.
Moria's new.
I mean, quite a lot of it.
I guess Moria is just that in there.
Oh. Yeah, Khazad-dum.
I'm surprised to see. I'm surprised to see Battle of the 5 Armies so high up. I mean, I think it's good, but I think at 700, it doesn't seem like an obvious power pick.
Yeah, and lots of those lists do have Guahir in as well. Like I remember I ran it at the Bristol 100 at 750, and you were really sort of struggling to fit in Guahir with 3 other heroes as well, so at 700. But,
I think if you're playing this at all at 700, you've got to have Guahir, surely.
Yeah.
Like, there's no point playing it if you're not going to run him. You could maybe run something like Thorin and a Lake Town Captain and Guahir or something like that, maybe.
Yeah. But I think those lists, they still had a decent model count. I think they had like 2 Lake Town heroes, like a Captain and Hilda.
Okay. Hilda is stupid cheap,
Yeah, just not many dwarves, so...
To be fair, elves are pretty popular when you look at it across. You've got 5 Halls of Thranduil, 4 Lothlorien, and 4 Rivendell.
Yeah, I was surprised to see
makes up a very large chunk actually of the field.
Yeah, there's a lot of Galadriels. Yeah. Which I was surprised to see.
Rangers over there as well, big.
Yes, a sneaky one in there. I was like, what list is that? I haven't seen that in a while. But I guess the international sort of, I don't know, elves playing more of a role potentially.
Actually, my biggest surprise here is Reclamation being up there. Because I just don't see that very much.
No.
Like, I don't think it's bad or anything. I just don't see it very much.
Yeah, I didn't have a look at the model counts, but they were all basically Boromir, Faramir on foot, and Madril. I don't know how many models you get.
It'll be like
high 30s.
38, probably.
Yeah.
38 with like 1 knight, maybe.
Yeah, with Boromir on horse. So, like, not bad. But, it's not something that we see sort of too much. Vince, what do you think? Thoughts? Initial takeaways?
Yeah, nothing surprising at top, really. I think more people would probably bring White Hand if we weren't restricted to 1 per team.
Oh, yes, that's the thing.
Same with Depths and Halls of Thranduil. Yeah, those are obvious popular choices. Yeah, I agree. I think Reclamation's a bit of a
wild card.
Bit of a surprising one, if you can call it that. But it's I still think it's quite a good list, actually. It's probably underrated.
More Reclamations than Men of the Wests? I don't know. Does it get a bit awkward for Men of the West at 700, maybe?
Yeah, I think it does a bit. I think it comes... like, you either have, like, Aragorn, Legolas, Gimli, or you go, like, Aragorn, Legolas, Guahir, and go real, like, quite small boys. Or you go Aragorn, Captain, Guahir,
yeah, but that's
maybe?
just... You don't need a Captain with Aragorn, so it's...
No, it's more just because the heroes are more expensive.
Yeah.
Aragorn, Legolas, Guahir could definitely work it. But it would be small. It would be like 30 models.
Yeah. Thought maybe some more Arnor at 700 is pretty decent.
Arnor has been a bit of a traditional...
like high 50s.
It's been a bit of a traditional powerhouse, hasn't it?
Yeah.
We've also hardly seen Post the Dragon Emperor.
Yes. Yes. Now, we're not going to be looking at an Emperor list, but I really wanted to. I thought that'd be a can of worms to open.
So. Host at 700 is pretty much always going to be Emperor, Rutabi, plus a drummer and 35 models, which is decent, but I think that is going to get like...
I think the elf list edge it out, basically.
Yeah, or like if you run into like...
bubble.
If you run into a dragon as well, you're getting cooked.
That's the point. Do we think the 4 Moria or dragons?
I would feel like the only reason to take Moria over depths is if you want to take a dragon, personally.
Yeah. I don't think there are too many, actually.
Oh, really?
Which I found quite surprising.
Well, shut my mouth.
Not too
Are any of the Moria lists the goblin spam? Or are they just... Or they
if you're doing that, you'd still just go...
one of them was, I think.
I would have thought you'd just still go depths anyway.
Yeah, there's no point running Moria unless if you're not going to run a dragon, I feel like. Or I guess you really like Durbers and Druzag or something, but I just don't think they're that good.
Yeah, a couple of them had Durbers, Druzag, but
yeah. I mean, I suppose you could play like Durbers, Druzag, Captain, Shaman, Cave Drake, maybe. But I don't really think that's that good either. That's personal though. You could certainly do all right with it.
There's a couple of Riders of Aemir in there as well. Shout out to James Goebel bringing that into the meta.
Lemon list.
In some people's minds. Yeah, lemon list. Indeed.
That's all we're taking to doubles. But I suppose doubles is completely different to singles anyway. Yeah, we think it's going to be quite good at doubles.
You and Adam, Vince?
Yeah, me and Adam.
Yeah, nice. I thought there might have been some more Battle of Fornost. I don't know if it is a little bit awkward at 700.
700, if you go the 2 big boys which you have to take and max out their warbands for 38 models, that's about 700. I remember looking at that for City of Steel, and with a free banner it was bang on 700 maxing it. So I guess you get like close to that, but then you don't have March and stuff, which I think is more of a problem.
So no March. But like I thought you'd have seen probably at least 3 of those. I thought it's quite a popular list, I think. In sort of the general scene, so
I'll be interested to see how people build their Rivendell at 700. If some of those are knights, or if it's going to be the Arwen twins.
Yeah, I think a lot of them. I don't think any of them were the twins from what I saw. A lot of Elrond, Arwen. It's a 650 where you get
Arwen and the
twins.
If you go Arwen, me and Jake Louis talked about this. Arwen twins and 2 banners, like a bunch of knights, or you can go Arwen twins Bilbo with a couple.
Twins
of
aren't
knights.
Legacy, are they?
No.
I would say, because that's one thing to note is there's no Legacy models for Ardacon this year.
Yeah, you could go Arwen twins and then take like a second banner, maybe the horses on the twins and stuff at 700, but you can get Arwen twins max warbands at 650.
Arwen twins banner, old Bilbo, max everything, 40 models, you get. That's 700, which I think is pretty good. The only problem is it doesn't have March, but
but anyway. lots of Elrond, Arwen. 5 scouts, 700. Is scouts awkward at 700? Or...
No, not really. I think scouts is basically good at every points level above 550.
I do think though,
maybe even smaller as well.
Vince says we may be capping out when he gets to sort of 5 or 6. Like based on the number of teams going with the list that we submitted, where people can't take.
Well, you don't want everyone to fight over
heroes.
The mighty Uglug.
So I guess it's worth mentioning. So you can basically, when you go to Ardacon, you can go as part of like a team. So is it 9 players that can be in a team?
Yeah.
So you can't play each other at any point throughout the tournament, apart from the final round if you're the top 2 people who play in round 7.
Yeah.
So you can't play each other, but then no one in the same team can take the same list. So yeah, that's also something to bear in mind.
Yeah, well, no, it's not. Well, it's not the same list; it's the same heroes. So, for example, you can't have multiple leg lists in different lists. Yeah, or at least it always was. I actually haven't read the Ardacon's rules pack, and
so
just
that might...
I want to point out that Ardacon's website doesn't update very consistently. Like the army list submission dates still say 2023. So
yes,
like it's a bit of a mission. It's a bit of a mission to get everything understood correctly.
Yeah, to find out. But when you do,
it certainly used to be hero choices.
And actually, one thing we should also probably mention is about the oaths or the secret missions, or whatever you want to call them.
Oh yeah,
and how they play into. So Ardacon, as a historically quite large tournament, always in recent years has had things that they call oaths, which are like your little secret missions, which you score each game.
But they do specifically say
tiebreaker
in the pack that they're not meant to be specific secret missions. They're like,
oh yeah,
these
that
aren't
is
secret missions, but
I'm more saying secret missions for their additional objectives.
Aside, yes, but they're worth TPs though. So sort of like how Matt does them at Into the West.
The reason Ali's calling them secret missions is he's trying to claim ownership of the fact that Matt and him created them for Into the West.
Here we go.
And then Ardacon.
Ali trying to tip himself.
To be fair, me and Matt, we're happy to say this. We nicked it from a Warhammer World Doubles event we went to, like I don't know, 15 years ago now.
You found it, and okay, all right. Yes. Anyway, so go on, explain the oaths, Ali.
Basically, I mean, I more or less did.
sorry,
I'm trying to remember.
I thought you were going
to
them up. Oh, sorry.
Do you want me to describe how they were for last year?
Yes, go on.
Okay, well, there's a collection of them. I can't remember exactly what most of them are, but one of them was kill like the second most expensive model in your opponent's list, or second most expensive hero. One of them was control an objective. One of them was get a certain number of models to your opponent's board edge, or like within 6 of their board edge. And before the game, you can veto one of your opponent's oaths to choose, and they can choose from the remaining ones. Yes. And then if you complete it, you get a TP, basically.
Yeah. So I just found 6 games, there's 6 total TPs. Yeah.
I just found them. They are the same as last year. So there's duelist, which is have your leader wound an enemy leader in combat. Send a message. It's called most expensive enemy model. That's not their hero, their leader.
Yeah.
Behind enemy lines, which is if you get your nominated hero within 3 inches of the other side of the board edge, and Master Tactician, which is essentially, I mean, it's a bit more complicated, but you got to capture a certain bit in the board.
Yeah, you put down a objective.
You place an objective. Yeah, and it's about like models within a certain radius of it. I've been brushing up on the oaths in preparation for the live stream. So, so that's how that works. So there's more TPs sort of at stake.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to make the championship round, you basically should be getting all 6, really. And because of how they work, there's always like
big difference.
Because your opponent only gets to veto 1. There's always going to be at least 1 that you can achieve pretty easily. Like, I didn't struggle to get any of my oaths last year. I think I missed 1 because in a really, really tight game. It's that kind of thing.
Yeah, but it's pretty important for the tournament. So
if you want to win, it is.
Yeah. So, okay, we shall leave it there for the army list statistics, and we shall move on to the leader statistics, or the stats, whatever. So, in the top spot, we have the Witch King with 7 appearances.
Oh, throwback.
Which, sort of. Does the international scene have they been watching our previews from last year and seeing the Witch King with 13 appearances, GBH 100s and stuff? Maybe so. And then in second place we have Saruman, as there were 6 Army of the White Hands, but obviously the Witch King has trumped in there. In tied 4th place we have the Balrog, obviously from Depths, Boromir from Reclamation, Thranduil from Thranduil's Halls, and Ugluk from Ugluk Scouts, and so on. So these stats, I think, because obviously in last edition you can have a particular faction but then take like a rogue leader, but now in these army lists it's like in Thranduil's Halls, Thranduil has to be your leader. Oh no, he doesn't have to be your leader in Thranduil's Halls, does he? But in Reclamation, for example, I think Boromir does, so you know. But are there any curveballs here? I don't know.
So the thing that stands out to me here is Saruman, there are no Musters of Isengard.
Yes, as I was checking the list, I was then like, have I maybe just been skimming through and not noticing that there's been a Saruman in Muster instead of Army of the White Hand? But
I see also that every Rivendell has Outrun as the leader, and all of the ones we've got anyway, and every Moria has Derbez as the leader as well.
Yes. There we go. I thought there were lots of Derbezes.
The thing that weirdly sticks out to me is, weren't there any free Khazad-dum lists?
Yes.
Because there's a Dwarf King there, and there's 3 Durans.
Well, Dwarf King can be a leader in
Army Variable.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So,
yes.
Yeah, the Army Variable.
There's 3 Thorin the Thirds as well, which, Ali, I know you're not too high on Thorin the Third.
The Stonehelm.
I mean, if there's a list later, I can talk about why.
I don't think there is, no. But
it'd be nice to see Gullivar back on the table.
I know, I saw the Gullivar. I was like, what the hell?
He's just a bit further away because it takes him longer to get here. That's why it's taken a while.
Maybe he still thinks it moves 12 inches.
Although, ironically, you shouldn't be able to see him now.
True. He's all shadowy. Anything else here of To the Shires with Gandalf the Grey. I thought that was funny.
There's one Depths of Moria that doesn't have the Balrog. That could be Watcher or it could be Goblin Spam.
Oh, because there were 6. Yeah, sure.
Well, there are 6 Depths of Moria and there's only 5 Balrogs. Well, I mean, it doesn't surprise me. Both of those lists are very viable. I love Depths of Moria with the Watcher at 700. It's really good.
It's clearly
on your podcast.
A couple of Radagast lists. If there's 2 Radagast.
Yes.
Well, there was 2 Radagast Alliance lists. So.
I didn't know that far down.
Are Eagles just bad at 700?
I think 700 is the first points level where they're not a dominant list. They're like a second tier list. Because like 650 with Guahiran, I think like 650 is probably still very good. At 700, I think probably they start to struggle a bit more. Yeah. I mean, I haven't played against them at 700, so I can't comment on it in terms of how powerful it is. But
there's more stuff that can deal with them. I mean, even if you just look at this list, like the amount of
is there no Ents?
Wizards.
I think
there is a Treebeard down there.
Yeah,
I thought there must be one Fangorn.
Yeah, I feel like Fangorn is kind of decent at 700. Like, it's a respectable list.
Yeah, I thought there'd be at least one. There's a Bolg in there. I was like, fucking hell, Army of Gundabad. Jesus Christ, he still plays Azog's Legion.
Army of Gundabad's good, man.
Is it being slept on? Are you going to take it to 100, Farmer?
If I had an army of it, I would have done it already. I don't own an Army of Gundabad. Yeah.
Sheesh.
Army of Gundabad's a good list.
Also, Farmer's going to enough hundreds, he can probably like find a points value.
Hit one in.
If
you get 600 scores, Farmer, would you take Army of Gundabad to the finale?
I'd take it if I didn't have 600 scores. I think it's good.
Sheesh.
I don't think it's a meme list at all. I don't have it. That's why I don't take it.
I own everything in that list, so I can hold you to that commitment. There you go.
Okay. I'm not going to take it to the finale. Probably anyway. But unless the points levels land perfectly for it.
We'll be live streaming it, so.
I could actually, to be fair, Burcon would be interesting.
Yeah.
Very high points, maybe. I'll write a few lists.
Love it. Any more takeaways from these before we move on? That's about it. No. Okay. No. Well, we shall move on to the list that we are going to be looking at. Are all the lists apart from a couple from the team that all the guys are playing in. So there's a team of 9 that these 3 guys are in, and a number of other members from our team, and any heroics and all that sort of thing. So we're looking at some of those lists. So the first one we're going to be looking at is the Depths of Moria, as is the number 1 performing list in the GBHL this year. So I thought it's only right that we start with this list. So 700 points. You know the list. 50 models. It's the Balrog. 3 captains and a load of goblins. So I thought, as we have Farmer here, who's probably used this list to the most success out of anyone in the league this year, what do you think, Depths of Moria? Why is it good? Tell us.
It has the best army bonus in the game. That's why it's good. It's amazing.
That is good.
Balrog is extremely hard to deal with.
Why is it so hard to deal with? Yeah,
because he's fight 10 and has a free hero combat
and 10 wounds.
And he just explicitly denies huge amounts of VPs from your opponent in every single scenario. And the only thing it lacks is a banner and points for a banner, which now matter relatively less because there's only 3 scenarios that have more than 2 points for a banner now, and you're much less likely to run into them than you were before, where like 2 of them had it out of 6. So this list was good when that was the case.
Yeah.
When you were definitely going to run into 2 scenarios where you were 4 points down at the start, this list was still good. And also, I want to point out, a lot of the missions just really benefit having a mega monster that can just pick up a load of prizes and be like, all right, my Balrog has 4 prizes in Treasure Hall. What do you want to do about it? Yeah. Are
you going to kill me? No.
Exactly. Well, I mean, you're basically saying like, because this list is good without the Balrog, as we know, and then with the Balrog, it's like, here's an unbeatable, or not unbeatable, but like a very tough to deal with monster. You have to deal with it to deal with this list.
Or you lose.
You either have the tools, or more likely you don't. And even if you do have the tools, he's resistant to magic. He's got 6 wounds. He's fight 10. If you roll a 6 in every fight, which you might do.
Yeah, even if you have the tools,
it's rough.
If it just rolls cracked, it doesn't matter that you have the tools because it wins anyway.
Yeah. And monsters are just amazing in general.
Fight 10.
You get the barge, you get the hurl.
Yeah.
The only thing this list is kind of missing with no legacies. Yeah, exactly. You're missing the black shields, and I mean they've not opted for any prowlers, which I mean, I'd maybe have like a couple, maybe 5.
Do you just think the 50 models is like hitting that is
Yeah, I don't
is a
think it
nice spot to
matters.
be in?
You don't need 50. You could. I mean, this is fine. You don't need the Prowlers for it to be good either. I just think Prowlers are good.
I feel
Yeah,
like White
first of all.
Hand does actually counter this pretty well, though.
I don't know about counter. It can deal with it if you're lucky.
Yeah, it can deal with it.
Like
Pretty
White Hand.
well.
One of the reasons why White Hand is actually good is because it can deal with this.
Yeah.
Because you've got auto passing courage. You've got -1 to resist is really nice against models with no might.
Yep.
Yeah. So it means
Just
that if
having
you roll like a
magic
4,
is
yeah,
really
because it means
nice.
if you like 1 dice transfix and get a 4, the Balrog is like, well, how many do I roll? Because 2 dice, if you get like double 4, that's not good enough. So it's like
Yeah.
you force
So
out
no might.
more will relatively because of the -1.
He runs out of will very quickly against Saruman.
Yeah.
And your troops actually are going, oh wait, we're better than these ones for a change.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't know if I go
without the reroll, but I mean,
yeah,
high value and
the
stuff.
lack of any D6. I mean, Moria loves it. To be honest, like Moria's biggest thing is like that holds it up properly is D6. And if you don't have any D6, Moria just walks through you.
Yeah, but the Dunlin bows can shoot down a lot of the spears.
They're not going to do that many. They'll kill like 4 before combat.
Yeah.
The lightning helps more than the bows. The lightning means that you can deny them numbers parity. It forces them to spread out loads, basically. I mean, I think that matchup is genuinely like going to depend entirely on scenario. But I mean, White Hand can definitely beat it.
On like the magic front, obviously the top 2 leaders were the Witch King and Saruman, and obviously
the Witch King, Witch King has a Morgul Blade, right? Which
depends on the list.
No, I think the Witch King gets the Morgul Blade in basically every list he's in now.
Well, automatically.
No, not automatically, but like you can buy it. I think.
Oh yeah, no, but I mean, if people remember to buy it,
I think most people do these days.
Do they, Vince?
Yeah, most.
With the amount of monsters around, maybe.
Yeah, I really rate this list. He's like, it's like top tier.
Yes, it is indeed. It is the #1 performing list in the GBHL so far.
If it was my choice, I probably wouldn't. I'd probably put more models in them that basically make all the captive warbands the same, and then have the bows and the remaining goblins in the Balrog warband instead.
Sure.
Yeah, deploying 18 models is kind of annoying with the Balrog. So
yeah, it's quite a lot, I guess. Any thoughts, Ali or Vince, before we move on from this one?
No, I've kind of talked about it a million times on the monthly.
We have on the monthly ones. That's why I thought I'd hand to first of all.
That's kind of basically the issue with this. Is it's always the same.
Yeah, it's Balrog. Vince, anything from you?
Nope.
That's about it. Okay, nice. Let's do it. So we shall move on lists. Next to the Kingdom of Khazad-dum, we may as well all go and have a tea and coffee break for 10 minutes while Ali talks. Ali,
I want Vince to start.
Oh gosh!
Vince has opinions on Khazad-dum.
Well, first of all,
you didn't have to go there, Ali.
I never said that. Okay, well, I may have described this list as arse cheeks, but that was in jest.
Are we backtracking right now?
No, not backtracking. Yeah, like what I meant to say was this list was not optimized. I don't think for Khazad-dum. There are, I think, better ways to build it. Like that's all. I mean, Iron Guard, 15 points. It feels a lot really expensive to me. You can take a few, but I don't think not taking the Khazad Guard is necessarily correct. Just having both, sprinkled
mix
in.
and match, maybe.
Mix them in.
Would you like to run through your list for the audio Spotify listeners? Please?
Yeah, so it's Durin, who Vince is also a massive fan of. 2 dwarf captains, basically, and then I've got 12 dwarf rangers with longbows, 10 Iron Guard in this list, and then 12 dwarf warriors with shields, and then a dwarf warrior with banner. Who does not have a shield because he can't have one anymore, and it makes me sad because it's 699 points.
So is he D5 or is he D6?
Oh, he's D6. He's still a dwarf with heavy armor.
Rangers are D5, so
yeah. And just as a reminder, the army bonuses for the list is all of them get to reroll 1s when they're in, making strikes in combat. They also have a new cool funky one, which is if you are rolling less dice to win a combat, excluding rerolls, you get a free reroll So it's not quite the Depths of Moria banner reroll for the whole entire board, but it can function in a similarly effective manner.
Yes.
And then you also get 2 mirrors, which give you sort of 6-inch bubbles on the board, which you get to deploy, of -1 to hit for shooting. It can kind
Only
of
for the
help
opponent
with,
as well.
yeah, it can help illuminate things. And then they also do -1 courage for evil creatures like goblins and orcs and stuff like that.
Did you find the mirrors had much sort of bearing in your games?
Yeah, no, the mirrors actually do massively help. They put you where you maybe would have even parity of shooting to giving you the edge a lot of the time.
Yeah.
So suddenly when you're against elves, it's just kind of like, oh, you both maybe have 10 or 12 bows, but you're like, cool, we're both strength 3, we both hit on 3+. But then I go, you're getting a -1, and then they're not.
Yeah.
Some of them may go, I'm glad you're outside blinding light, but that's another story.
It means that they will. I mean, they already kind of do, but they're very comfortably outshoot anything that doesn't have strength 3 bows. Although I would say that strength 3 bows would feel almost more common than strength 2 at the moment.
Yeah.
To be honest, I'd be interested to see how this list does into Army of the White Hand, like overall, because it feels like a pretty solid matchup. Because you have a lot of D7 for the lightning. Also, you didn't mention Ali, but this whole list, the Warriors, the Rangers, and the Captains all have Dominant 2.
Oh yeah, I missed that. There's a lot of rules.
They've got a lot of bonuses, man. Yeah, those mirrors are annoying. I thought like, oh, I get within range, the throwing axes will be less easy to hit, and it's like actually it's only enemy models. And I was like, oh, great.
Yeah,
that is the other thing. You combo the 12 bows, then you get close, and then you've got 10 throwing axes as well, which with the increase in night fighting scenarios actually makes that.
Yeah, there are quite a few more of those, aren't there?
There's 3 of them now instead of just 1. I would say that I think Iron Guard are fantastic. They're probably one of the best profiles in this thing. They're really good. Especially yes, I do think that. Yeah, especially with the bonus and the rerolls, because it means you can get 2 rerolls on them quite easily if you're fighting 3 guys.
Like
or 2 guys with a spear.
Acolytes, like with the Emperor, for example, there was like an acolyte spam sort of version that you could take, but Iron Guard are high defense at the same points, and now with the reroll and stuff,
they're not the same points. They're like 3 points more. Yeah.
One acolyte's 15 points.
No, they were like 11 points with axes.
I'm tripping.
But then they were only D4.
Yeah, Iron Guard are premium, but they're worth it in my opinion. Yeah. They're not berserkers, but I think comparing to them to berserkers does them a disservice because berserkers are way too cheap as well. To be fair,
the thing. So I took similar list for 800 points at the weekend, just gone tournament, and I kind of took a gamble going, there's not a lot of strength 4 going around in the meta at the moment. So I sort of took the bet that the D6 of the Iron Guard won't hurt me as much as it may have done last edition when you saw like Morannon and stuff, spam and things like that going around a lot.
Yeah.
And it kind of proved to be right. Like you look at a lot of the top lists that we've mentioned, like Depths. Okay, there's a few Urukai usually in White Hand, but it tends to not be like loads. Or even like only sort of strength 3 and sort of all the others. Like there's a lot of strength 3, and so unless if you're facing a muster of Isengard or another dwarf list, you'll probably be needed to be wounded on 6s for most troops in the game at the moment.
You do have a fair amount of D5 with the Rangers, but yeah, obviously the bulk of the list is going to be
But aren't you're less likely to get the reroll though, because you're usually fighting a guy with a spear support, right? So
with the Iron Guard.
So, but you kind of because you don't have spears, you can actually function the army much more like a horde in your frontage, because you're not double stacking. So what I often was doing at the weekend was shield guys sort of in the front taking on the spear wall, and then they're just getting the reroll, and then the Iron Guard can go around the flanks if I want to, and then they're suddenly going 2 attacks versus 1, or if someone's trying to gang up on them, they still go, well, okay, like I'll get 3 dice to win the combat instead. It's quite handy, the flexibility. You could also flip it around and just go, I'll put the Iron Guard in the front, and then I'll put a banner there, and then like you can just sort of make them a really reliable sort of wedge to drive through with their strength 4 and once a wound.
You essentially get 4 dice to win the fight against if you charge 2 guys with spears, which it is like if you're against other 5-4, like you essentially have you're not far behind them in terms of dice rolled, and if you win, you might do more damage. And if they're strength 3, then you've got a pretty good chance of surviving if they win.
It's 15 points essentially holding up usually between, like, say it's goblins to 20 points to sort of up to like nearly 40 points with the equal amount of dice.
If you're against anything fight 3 or below, trust me on this, they're very frustrating. they were really annoying. Good, I think they're good.
Yeah,
but we're not having a few Khazad-dum.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah, to sort of play, devil's advocate.
You don't have to go all in, right?
Vince's point.
On one profile.
I find actually
heroes around. You can chuck them in.
So I've only used sort of Khazad-dum at one event so far, but I was either playing elves, which actually when they've got the elven blade, I don't find actually the fight value really like makes that much of a difference. Or again, a lot of stuff I was facing was lower fight value. So it was kind of there going, you didn't need the fight 5 anyway. I mean, there is a chance, especially with the amount of reclamations coming up, that maybe the fight 5 would come in handy. But
because of their banner.
Yeah, the banner thing. But often, because of most things that are fight 5 that you'd be facing as an elf anyway, you're not getting the same benefit. And it is quite awkward to fit in Iron Guard and Khazad and everything else you want at this points level while still getting 38 models, which I think is a pretty good number for the list.
Yeah,
it is a good number for 700. As you touched on that earlier, I'm just a super very brief point, but it feels more hoardy than it actually is because of how the army construction works. Because it's like you're playing against a model, like a 50 model count army with the kind of frontage it puts out, while also keeping guys in reserve that can fill in gaps when they die. It's surprisingly, it's a more impressive list than I was expecting it to be. I'll be interested to see how you get on, or if you run into anything that actually blocks your path properly, like dragons or like you say, Boromirs maybe.
Like Durin as well, I must say. I've always been a fan of Durin. And
so Durin, just to touch on because we haven't really mentioned, I think if you have a fight 7 model in your army, it's really useful now because it basically means you can go toe to toe with the monsters or like any enemy hero. Also, he is
much more reliable. Yeah,
he's also not quite like the Balrog, but he is a VP denial unit. Even if he can't like be an absolute killing machine like some heroes.
I would say that he's a lot of points, but he covers enough important bases that you need covered. Like you need a fight 7 guy, you need someone with +1 to wound with strength 4. I think he's just really solid, and he can also get like a ton of dice to win the fight if he's getting surrounded, which helps a lot.
Yeah.
Durin's always had hate. I've always liked Durin, but glad to see him. So, okay, we'll leave it there for the Kingdom of Khazad-dum. We shall move on to the Black Gate. Mark O'Brien on the team is taking this list. So it's the Black Gate, led by the big Mordor troll chieftain. The other heroes he has the Mouth of Sauron on foot, a Morannon Orc Captain with Shield, and a Mordor Orc Shaman. And then he's got a load of Morannons. It's pure Morannon spam, Summon Shield, Summon Shield Spear, and a banner, obviously. So he gets up to 40 models with those 4 heroes. So the Black Gate, what do we think on this? Obviously, a lot of it hinging around the troll chief there.
I like it.
The what's it called? The Temptation of Sauron rule is super annoying to play against. I think it's a really good rule. That's probably the best thing about this list, to be fair.
I think
what is that again? It's the Mouth of Sauron's rule, right? What is it?
No,
it's a free intelligence test on any model. Yeah,
it's pretty similar to like a Sentinel thing. It's similar to like a Sentinel move them, but it's
yes.
I think it may be slightly better. It's a bit ambiguous as to whether you can do certain things with it, like dismounting and stuff. One thing I say about this list is I'd probably mess with the warbands a bit. He's got a lot of stuff with his chief and his Mouth of Sauron, and he could definitely put some of those in the Morannon Captain warband just to balance them a little bit better. I think Mouth of Sauron on foot is the correct play now as well. Like his armored horse is a lot of points for a hero that doesn't actually do a lot of killing, even with it. And on foot, he's still got a 1.5 sword, so you can with a spear, you can grind okay in like a battle line. He's still fight 5, so he'll like outfight regular chuds. He's got still got transfix, although he doesn't have much chance to use it, and he's got curse, which is underrated spell, I think.
Yeah, I like I quite like the list. I think it's not to be underrated also having a 40 model army, which is D6 on the front and the
D6
second
strength, and strength 4 everywhere. That's
with
going
the
to be
troll
one of the
fucking
things.
shit up.
Yeah, the troll is fearless. It's just really dependable. Like, just don't let it get surrounded. It's going to be quite hard to kill it.
Yeah.
And then the Rannans will roll pretty favourably into most armies. You've got a T7 Rannon captain as well.
Yeah.
Fearless from the Shaman.
Is it dominant 4 as well? The troll chief?
Yeah.
It's
super
4 or
nice,
5.
just like Gua here. Yeah,
it's big. Fearless is really nice.
Also, when you look at a lot of the armies that at least locally we've been seeing going, quite a lot of them actually have men in them. So your Rannans actually, I think, will get the bonus. Or again, as I mentioned, you're possibly just playing goblins, and so it doesn't really matter if you don't go up to the fight for.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Balrog would not like this list very much. Because you've got some transfixes in there to slow it down, although admittedly not that many. You've got auto-passing courage on your Shaman to slow it down from just Morannans one at a time. Everywhere you've got D6, so the goblins have a hard time getting through it. And your numbers are not so favourable that the goblins are massively outnumbering you to swarm around.
Yeah, I think it's kind of got all the basics. Okay, you don't have shooting, you don't have cav, but you do have 2 marches, like models with march.
I was thinking a drum would be quite nice in this list.
Can you get a drum in?
I don't know what you take away.
I don't think you can you? Unless it's on a troll.
Are you sure? Maybe not.
I'm not sure.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, even if you could have an orc drum, again, I don't know what you take away. I was just thinking, like, maybe at 750 or something, or a drummer version of this would go pretty hard, I think.
Yeah, you can take a drum on the troll, but no, you can't.
No, you can't.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, that's a bit naff then. Maybe not
then. I think it's really solid. I'm actually quite looking forward to seeing how Mark does with it.
This is a list that's like on my list of things I want to play when I'm done tryharding.
Because I like 34.
I would like to play this as well. I just like to use the Mordor Troll Chief. I really like the sculpt. I actually won one at a tournament and then I sold it because I thought,
wait, you won something at a tournament? When did this happen?
I've got like
the press.
I've got like 3 metal Troll Chieftains that I've never had a chance to use. Yeah, I've got one that I've used a few times, and then I got a couple of extras that I bought on a whim, and I'm like, why do I have so many Troll Chiefs?
Triple Troll Chief meta coming to
that'd be pretty hardcore, to be fair.
A tabletop near you. Yeah. Any more thoughts on this one before we move on?
No, it's just decent.
I think that's about it. It's solid. Yeah. So curious to see how Mark will do, but we shall move on to Farmer's List. The Usurpers of Edoras coming fresh off a GBHL 100 win. Thoughts on this one, Farmer? Or could you run through your list for us? Yeah. For the
okay, so I've got 55 models. I've got Frecker, who's the leader. He's got 5 hill tribes with bow, 6 with spear, 2 with nothing, 2 Crebain. I've got Wolf on horse, leading 4 with bow, 4 with spear, 2 with nothing, and 2 Crebain. And then just copy paste that warband for 2 hill tribes chieftains. 55 models total, 17 bows, 8 Crebain, Frecker, Wolf, 2 chieftains. No banner, but obviously it doesn't matter. Bish bash bosh. Solid list.
Yeah. I would say the one downside to when someone usually beats you with a list at an international event is it normally just gives you a new idea of like going, that list is pretty good. And so it's for me it functions a bit like White Hand does, but you're changing the trick slightly. So
I mean, the thing that actually, so I seeing the ton of Crebain was like great fun when I played against this at the Nations Cup. Very similar list, but the actual thing that really caught my eye when we played was Wolf, because I'd read his rules initially, but somehow in my head I hadn't actually combined the rules in his profile with the rules in the list in the Legion. And the Legion rule, the Usurpers rules are really, really good, and with Wolf just adds such a dynamic dimension to this list. It's not just a horde. So like I've seen this list, like I know for a fact the other person taking this, World Champion, is running it without Wolf, and he's got more, like quite a lot more models. And I just think that Wolf adds so many solutions to problems that you don't have solutions for otherwise.
So
he's really good.
I've played against the list without Wolf, and I've played against the list with Wolf now a couple of times, and while I may be able to break the list with Wolf easier because the model count is lower, there's so much extra pressure that Wolf applies. To like your heroes or just like one of your flanks that he may not look like the greatest on paper. It's a bit like how we were mentioning with Durin earlier. It's like he covers a base which the list no one else in the list can do.
Exactly.
It's just a mounted model as well. There's just so much more you can do.
Yeah, well, I mean, Freka also solves contest for you. Freka is that means Freka, you keep him super safe. He has just a Might Caddy at the back. Honestly, I mean, like, I played this at 800 last weekend, and Freka didn't take a wound. He didn't lose a fate point. It's just that kind of list. It's good at playing fast and getting an advantage and then holding an advantage till the end of the game. It's great in tournament play. If you played every game to its natural conclusion with no timer, this list would get a lot worse because it's essentially just a load of garbage with some...
Four those, just so good.
It's handy, and +1 to wound against heroes means that anytime an enemy hero fluffs against a couple of guys, they have to hold their breath. If they're anything,
even if you're a King's Champion where you think, you've got 3 odd fate or something like that.
Yeah, I mean that was pretty unusual, but to be fair, he combated his King's Champion into a Crebain and then immediately died from the Crebain.
From the Crebain.
+1 to wound, even with 6s by 4s to wound, it becomes 5s by 3s, and I got 2 wounds on him, and suddenly he had to pass like 4 fate, and he just couldn't do it.
It's a sad time.
Yeah.
What is the difference between this and your 800 list? Was it the heroes or did
5 less Crebain? Basically, 5 less Crebain. I had to shuffle some more. I've got more. So, okay, the actual answer is I had to drop some gear. So I've dropped 7 bits of gear. I think it is 6 bits of gear. So like I've now got So I've got 2 less models total, and I've dropped some gear. Okay. So I've got like 8 guys with no gear now, which is quite a few, but
still got 55 models. It's
I mean, it's 18 spears instead of 22, 17 bows instead of 18, and then 8 Crebain instead of 13. Yeah, and then it's got like 7 more regular chuds. So that's how it works out.
Yeah, but for 100 points less, it doesn't seem like you've lost that much.
No,
I think
it looks
the way I played it at 800 won't work here, just because at 800 you can be extremely reckless with your Crebain. 13 Crebain is so many. It's like you can just control an entire board segment just by like, right, here's a ton of Crebain you can fight. They'll take like 3 turns to die, and I'll just seize that whole area. Yeah. It's crazy. It's great.
It was like at the weekend, I was absolutely murdering the birds.
Yeah, you were rolling really well, but it didn't matter.
But then there were still 4 at the end.
It only cost me. It only cost me 5 Crebain to hold up your entire army, basically.
Yeah. That's just such a good trade-off. Like,
because I was like, each of them, because of where there was like, I just charged 2 Dwarf Warriors with 5 of them, and then 1 in front of Durin. But it was just 2 Dwarves with 4 of them, and then 1 in front of Durin that you basically have no choice but to charge him. I don't want to charge him because he causes terror, and I didn't want to fail that. Also, because of the size of where everything was, it meant that I could. But with I think it was like 6 Crebain total, including Durin and the entire line, and you just couldn't go forwards. And then I just fought on that one flank.
The thing it does, because even though I didn't lose really any models on that, like as Fam says, because in tournament play you have limited time, it buys you half an hour. Like almost
exactly. In Fog of War, it's like cool. Here's an absolutely indomitable tar pit that it will take forever to get through, and then I'll just win the game on this flank instead. Because I was thinking, like, Fog of War, you'll probably break me. I'll get my terrain piece. That's just a win. That was my game plan, and it worked out.
Yeah.
Honestly, Crebain great, but I can't really do that with 8 because you can't just throw away 6 Crebain and still be in comfortable position. However, I think at 700 that may not matter as much because I've still got 55 models, so we'll see.
Yeah. Dominant 2, is it natural on all of them?
They don't have dominant.
No.
Otherwise,
they would be even better.
Crebain don't have dominant. I don't know what you're thinking of. But
no. The Hill Tribesmen.
Oh, they
I'm thinking of the Flaming Brands. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, that's only.
No, I don't think Flaming Brands are worth taking personally. I could have maybe dropped.
Models. Yeah.
Well, I could have dropped a Hill Tribesman and had made several of the guys who don't have a bow have Flaming Brands. That might have been worth doing just because they're 1. You can play 2 if you want a light shield, but I don't know why you'd want a light shield. Maybe I should have drop a guy and then have some Flaming Brands, but I've only got 1 paying Flaming Brands, and I didn't want to build a load of Flaming Brands because I think most of the time they're shit. So, well, they're not shit; they're just not that useful.
You just mentioned about the light shields. They really tried to cook with light shields this edition, and
they're just so not worth a point in any sense.
Yeah. It's a shame. It's a cool idea.
Maybe I'll build one with one just for BM purposes.
Yeah, why not? Okay, we'll leave it there for the Usurpers of Edoras, and we shall move on to Vince's list. Minas Morgul. Vince, would you like to run through it for the Spotify listeners for us?
Yeah, so we've got Witch King on a Fell Beast without the Morgul Blade. We'll get to that later. He's got 7 Mortal Orcs with Shield, 7 with Spear, and 1 with Banner. Then we've got 2 copy-paste warbands led by Lord Captain, 5 Morannons with Shield, 5 Mortal Orcs with Spear, 1 Spectre. Got an Orc Shaman, 3 Mortal Orcs with Shield, 3 with Spear, and a Drummer as a solo drop. 48 models. So, okay, the reasoning behind the Morgul Blade isn't actually that interesting. It just couldn't find a way to fit it in nicely. It was pretty awkward with the points. To drop 10 points, you'd have to drop, I don't know,
drop 2 models.
2 models.
Yeah.
Which I definitely would have done, by the way.
Well, dropping 2 models, then if you drop 2 orcs, that's 12 points.
Yeah.
Yeah, then
with points, I think is.
I don't like not having
Or
using all your points.
You can then turn an Orc with Shield into a Morannon. Oh, no, they're 9
Morannon's 3 more points.
Yeah, no, sorry, yeah, then
so it actually is quite awkward. I did try.
Ali just loves playing under on points. If it's like 3 points under, he'll be like, yeah, but that's what I want.
Well, yeah, and he's like, yeah, what's the problem? 2 points under. Yeah, just drop 2 orcs. To me, I'm just like, oh, it's not worth it.
The thing
I don't want a 12-point Morgul Blade, Ali.
In a meta where you know there's Balrogs and like stuff like that, I feel like
it's worth it.
Yeah.
So I also know the way I play. I'm very risk averse. I just don't.
Are you going to charge a Witch King into those things?
Charging a Witch King into a Balrog.
Obviously, you only do it when it's transfixed, though. You don't do it if it's not transfixed.
Yeah, but then you're there, and then all you have to do is lose a move off.
Well, no, because if you're smart with the way that you position models, you have 2 guys either side, and then the
you'll always be able to make it so that if you lose, whoever loses the fight, you won't ever be being charged by a Balrog.
Yeah,
maybe not immediately. That
it would be like at least a turn later,
straight in. But
yeah, I mean, it's worth. I feel like it's worth the risk because if a Balrog gets not a 6, which is quite possible, then you can then just spaffle your might to kill it with your wounds. Because you only strike at 4, but like you'd spend all 3 might to kill a Balrog in that matchup all day.
So
then again, you might not play it. You might not play a Balrog. Yeah. I mean, I actually quite like this list. Like
I do like it. Apart from that,
48 models is a good amount. The only thing I'd change is personally, I'd run the Drummer in a warband. I wouldn't put it on its own.
So I discussed this with a few of the other Gollum's gamers. Ben seemed to think the Drummer as a solo drop was good. Ash was like, no, put it with warband, and they kind of had good points for both.
The Drummer the Drummer is going to be better as a solo drop more often than not, I think, which is valid. It's just that sometimes it will just get punked for free. That's what I got to say about that.
It's kind of I feel like it's kind of 50-50.
So I ran Drummer quite a lot last edition when I used my Gothmorg army with it in.
Yeah.
I think I used it as a solo drop more often than not.
Yeah.
Although I would probably actually in this list put it in a warband.
Yeah.
Because of the fact you've got 4 warbands as it is. You're not gaining like as much knowledge as you maybe otherwise would.
Yeah.
But also now you've got more scenarios where killing the Drummer can concede points and all your.
So in Divide and Conquer, you can put the Drummer and the Shaman in one corner and then the rest in the other corner.
Yeah, but you wouldn't want to do that.
Yeah, you'd want to have
one Drummer with the guys to get them to the middle.
Yeah, you'd want to have two big warbands together with the Drummer to get them up as quick as possible. I would say the main reason I would take a Drummer in a warband is because in Recon, having your Drummer not come on the board for the 3 turns fucks you over really badly. Whereas if it's the Witch King's warband, you've got might to spend to make that work. And then like if you get
warband.
and like it matters in Maelstrom as well. But like I said, deployment drops are good, so I'm not going to tell you this is wrong or anything. I just personally, I'd have it in a warband because you've got 4.
Yeah, I do like the
warbands anyway.
Yeah.
Let us know how it goes
after
the tournament. See how you feel, because like I think it's probably like 60% more positive as a drop than it is. But I just think when you don't get it, like, it's going to hurt a lot when it gets fucked. Basically,
yeah, safety over majority advantage
here, folks. Yeah,
that's what you bring me on for, mate.
Sort of
the weeds.
No, that's but you know, a fight 6 Witch King on Felbeast, obviously nothing to be sniffed at. You know, it isn't something that I've actually played Minas Morgul.
Yeah, I've not used this. So
I still think Vince, you got upset about losing to my dwarf, so you're like, I'll take something that can ignore your armor. I think that's the real reason.
Give me that Khazad-dum. Give me that Khazad-dum on
cheese.
This is another list I'm definitely going to use at some point as well. I just think
the Felbeast is just such a. You don't necessarily need to kill stuff with it. It's just sitting there.
There's the mobility, actually.
So scary.
Yeah, I like this more with Legacies allowed because Kardish is just straight better than a Mordoric Shaman, but you can't have him. You can't have him, so.
Yeah.
Is Kardish, is he 60 points?
Kardish is 60. He's also a Hero Fortitude. That would obviously be a slightly larger point. It's like at 800 if you just have this list, but with Kardish, and then you fill the warbands up and have a couple more Spectres. It's pretty hard. I think 4 Spectres you can get with like 50 plus models and Kardish and 2 captains. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. Okay.
We shall might not take that to Lemon Cup.
The Lemon Cup. We shall see on the live stream. We shall move on to Army of the White Hand, one of the other best performing lists in the GBHL this year. This is John Partridge's list. So for the Spotify listeners, you know Army of the White Hand, but it's 50 models, same as the Depths of Moria. It's Saruman, the Wildman Oathmaker, 2 Wildman Chieftains, and Grima. There's 7 scouts, a load of Isengard orcs with spear. There's like roughly 18 of them, I think. 15 Wild Men of Dunland with bow. 1 banner and 4 Crebain. 50 models. Farmer, this is a list you've also used to great success this year. What do you think?
John really wanted my advice on this. He was trying to figure out how to get more Crebain in, and I basically told him you can choose to drop Uruk-hai for Crebain. They both provide important like upgrades to your list. At 700, you're pretty limited on what you can take. So I basically suggested if you want to get more Crebain in, just drop the number of scouts. And then what I did say is you're going to have to be careful with your scouts now. Like normally you don't have to be that careful. If you've got like 12, you can just have them at the front for the D5. But this list is going to have to play a little different. But I do think 4 auto pass Courage Crebain is pretty annoying. It means you can hold up really dangerous stuff for quite a long time. Even if they kill it comfortably, it's like, cool, here's another one. Oh, and another one, and another one, and another one. And then that's 4 turns worth of Crebain, you know?
Yeah.
The main thing this has over the Crebain spam and Usurpers is auto passing Courage on Crebain is so handy. It's really nice. Yeah, this is cool. This list, without legacies, you don't have access to stuff like Gorolf, but I think that the Wildman Chieftains are just really, really tasty value. Oathmaker is amazing. He's got 3 might, gives you rerolling 1s and stuff. Just a good list. This is going to, whether this kicks ass or is kind of middling will depend heavily on the scenarios, though. Because there's definitely more scenarios that hurt this than there were before.
Yeah, I think I don't know how I feel about the lack. I mean, not lack of Uruk-hai. I'm kind of there going. I think I would lean towards a few more Uruk-hai. But then I'm looking at that from the perspective of what armies I usually take, as opposed to.
That was my advice. Yeah. Having played against this kind of list with like almost no Uruk-hai, it still works. You just have to play it a little differently, and you've still got 3 fight 4 heroes who can step up if you have to kill like dwarves like we were talking about earlier. You know, like it's still fine. It's just you need to be a bit more careful with Uruk-hai. If you lose like 3 of them to shooting, it's quite bad.
Yeah, but otherwise, to be honest. I mean, again, this is another list that's been talked to death. You got Grimmer, who's obviously amazing. Saruman's actually pretty reliable with his -1 casting thing and the lightning. And actually, I think you may see the half move spell more relevant now. We've got scenarios which kind of movement's a bit more key to a lot of those ones.
Stake a claim in particular is really punishing if you use the Gale first turn, because you can grab 4 of them and then get a really nice insult.
March.
You don't even need to march. You've got 4 Crebain. You can just take them.
Oh, sorry, with the Crebain. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, and if you have Grimmer, you just put them on their objective, and they don't even get the 2 points for it. It's really, really nasty. You're like, cool, I've got 8, you've got 1. That's a good That's a good start.
Now, talking about Grima, I think Grima was recently voted the most OP model in a GBHL poll. Vince Wong, what are your thoughts on this?
No, you know, I'm not that surprised.
I thought you were famously advocating that Grima is not the most OP model in the game. I thought that was your position.
I think my stance was I thought Leggy was definitely more OP, or I may have said Leggy Angwai here. That's why I did the poll.
Yeah, you definitely said Leggy Angwai.
But you know, I'm not super surprised that people think
you're doing the trick of look over here instead and ignore my overpowered thing.
I think for his points, there's basically nothing you can do. Nothing that would be worth more than those 25 for Grima.
Yes.
Grima
but you have to pay Saruman tax for it. It's not like you can drop it.
Saruman's completely useless in White Hand.
Well, it's not useless, but to say that he only costs 25 points is a bit unfair, because really you're paying for...
He totally only costs 25.
You're paying for like an almost 200-point package, right? It's not like that simple.
Well, but you get a wizard and an 18 warband.
Yeah.
A wizard with a load of bonuses and the Palantir. So I'm not saying that Grima is like you could just buy him for 25 points, although technically you can do that, by the way, in Army of the White Hand.
He is 25 points. That is the value of the model.
But I'm just saying, he is comfortably, and I would say by far, the most underpriced model for what he actually does in the game. Overpowered is a slightly misleading way of phrasing it.
Yeah.
You're talking about for how much he costs, easily, by far.
What he does for
But then you could just call Saruman he's...
I would say Saruman is maybe a bit pricey. If Saruman was a bit pricey for what he actually offers now, because he's got no reroll and stuff, I still think Saruman is fairly costed. He's just not aggressively well costed.
Yeah, but then Saruman also is another model which you're reliably denying VPs for most scenarios, unless the game's probably already lost.
And also, let's say Grima gets nerfed in some sense. Saruman doesn't become worse. He'll still do what he does now. Obviously Grima's not as effective, but the two aren't tied in that way.
But
I think people honed in on the core of things that are really powerful, though. Grima is in a league of his own, but I think Leggy here, I would even throw Arwen in there. Amazingly good value.
Leggy is just another one of those models you just can't do anything about, though, unless you've got magic.
Grima is better than Leggy, though.
You can't
can't do anything about.
Leggy at least requires dice rolls to be abusive. Leggy, when he pops off, feels so unfair, and I empathise with that. But Grima literally requires 0 dice rolls to break the game completely. It just happens. If your opponent has certain things, then sure, he doesn't get to do his thing. But if they don't, it's sorry, mate, you just can't call heroics with these 3 heroes that still have a might point.
Yeah, I get that.
You should just get good. It's I can't even stop him from doing it. There's no way to stop him. It's insane.
All those VPs are mine. I'll take those. You can't stop me.
Yeah, he's absolutely monstrous good.
Yeah. Grima good. Anyway,
any
more final thoughts on Army of the White Hand? Vince, obviously you used the Army of the White Hand last weekend. Any closing thoughts?
Oh, me?
Vince, yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
so you used Army of the White Hand of the weekend.
Yeah. It's the list is good. Grima's good.
I'm not surprised that it's the most popular list at all.
Yes, it was. Yes, for sure. In theory, it may change, but yes.
Well, true. Yeah. Of what we have access to. If these trends continue.
Yes, for Army of the White Hand. We shall move on to, speaking of Leggy, the Halls of Thranduil. This is Jay Achai's list, or so we believe. We have been told, I have been told from Jay, that he is 99% sure this is what he is submitting.
He's going to run with Smaug now. He hasn't submitted it yet. I think
he said the words more than likely. So I don't know. He did say 99% as well, but who knows with Jay. So it is a 33 model Halls of Thranduil list at 700 points. The 3 heroes he has is Thranduil with heavy armor, Leggy with elven cloak, and Tariel with elf bow. He has 12 bows in total. Sorry, that's not including the heroes, is it? On Capital Admiral. Or does that include the heroes?
I think it includes heroes.
It includes the models with bow total. So yeah.
Does include the heroes.
Yeah, because there's 9 elves with bow.
Yeah, 6.
Well, that doesn't.
And a sentinel. So there's 10.
Oh, and a sentinel. Yeah, okay,
yeah, sure.
So it doesn't. It's not the total number of shots, but it is the total number of models with bow, including heroes.
Yeah.
Yes, including heroes.
It's got to be.
It's between 12 and 14.
So it has 15 shots.
Is more than a third of 33.
15 shots.
It has 15 shots total.
Yes.
Tariel's got
Tariel has expert shot, yeah.
Expert shot, yeah. So he's got a load of Mirkwood Elf warriors. He's got 12 with glaive, 9 with elf bow, a couple with shield in there, 4 with shield, 2 palace guard, only the 2, 1 with spear and 1 with shield and spear, 2 Mirkwood Elf knights as well, and a sentinel. So he's fitting 2 knights and a sentinel, the 3 most expensive heroes in the list. So it's why he's only got 33 models. But what do we think on this particular build at 700? Obviously, there's lots of Halls of Thranduil at the event.
I'll lead off on this one. I mean, Halls of Thranduil's doing well generally at the moment. I would be nervous about not having a guy with March in a list like this at the moment.
The Mirkwood Elf captains are pretty good now.
Yeah, and when you don't have a March, you don't have a banner. Like, you could get away with it at an event. It is possible. And, like, I mean, Jay's done that with a weird list before. Yeah. It's kind of like you're making life potentially more difficult for yourself than it needs to be. And I don't think Toriel's bringing that much to the table. That
I think Toriel is good, already. But yeah, how much does she bring? Yeah, that you need that isn't already in the list. Like, you save. I mean, the Mirkwood Elf captain, I think, is 75 points, a little bit cheaper than the Palace Guard. You still have a Fight 6 elf in there. With the glaive that's better now.
Yeah, you can go up a model or 2.
And you save 20 points as well, quite crucially. Yeah. So you can maybe get, if you strip away like one of the knights, maybe get up to 36 models. I think that's a
Don't strip the knights.
To be.
The knights are so good for their points.
Yeah.
If anything, I would put in an extra knight and then maybe upgrade an elf to another.
I just think that you could swap Tyrell to a captain, and then with a little bit of wiggle room, you get up to 36 models, which I think is super nice. But
yeah, I mean, this list looks exactly like the kind of list you'd see before the new scenarios, where there was almost no reason. Obviously, there's recon, but there's no need to necessarily march up the board in in like 5 out of 6 of them. You can just either deploy in the middle or just stand there and shoot people. And I think Tariel is really good. Tariel drops off a little bit over a captain, as you were saying, specifically because March feels much more important. I'd say this feels like a list he just submitted on a whim, but we know he hasn't submitted it yet, so let's see. But he was asking around to try and borrow a Smaug, so
Oh, was he? I think this was pretty similar to the list that Ben was thinking of running as well, though, with the same 3 heroes.
I mean,
although he had 30.
I mean, it's a list that's proved to be good. The problem with it is going to be the scenarios that have now changed since that was last a thing, right? Like, he could very well still do well. Like, it's going to depend on what scenarios come up and what he matches up into. I think this is a fine list. I think Halls of Thranduil is actually really solid. Like, it's probably the most well-rounded of the elf lists.
I think it's because you get what you need easier, generally speaking, than some of the other
Legolas is really good.
Yeah,
basically.
Oh, I forgot about the OP Sentinel now as well.
Sentinels are just great.
Even better than they were. Yeah,
they're pretty much the same as they were, which was great. But the fact that
they've got the nice rule. Yeah, it's a nice little bonus.
What do we think of Stephen Denby's no bow version of this list?
But it went well until he lost all his games day 2.
Bubbles. Yeah, the easy games day 1, and then
Yeah, I like it. I like the D6 spam. I think that's quite smart. I do think that
you still got Leggy, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. It was fine. I felt it was a tough list, but also I don't know. It's just a choice.
I
think
just a choice.
It's just a
Shooting do be
choice.
good,
Like
though.
shooting is good, but like if you don't think you're going to be able to shoot in most games, I think it's a smart choice to do that. Legolas is too good to not take, obviously, and you would never not take him anyway. But yeah, I don't know. That was Thranduil, Leggy, Glaive Captain, and then just spam guys. The only other bow he had apart from Leggy was a Sentinel, which I think is fine. 44 models was quite a lot.
Yeah. But yeah, 33 for Jay's list. So we shall leave it there for the Halls of Thranduil list. And we shall move on to the tier list. So kicking things off then, if you haven't seen one of our tier lists before, the bottom category this week I have named as Bill the Pony. Now, there is a little story there which I shall tell very briefly. So, Farmer, were you at, after Dewey's event, were you at the pub when we played the game with Jakob? I was trying to think earlier. Were you there?
No, I was
swear
not.
you might have been. Okay, fine. So anyway, we played this game at the pub where basically there was like 5 of us in a circle, and you had to write a named hero on a piece of paper and then put it on someone else's head. And basically, you go around in a circle, and you would take it in turns to ask a question about your hero to try and guess who it is.
So it's a well-known game, just with MESBG heroes, I guess.
Yes, yeah. So like. Is my hero fight 5 or something like that, above fight 5, whatever, and you go around. So Jakob very cunningly made me basically came last in the game because he gave me Bill the Pony. So I was asking like, does my hero have the Gondor keyword and things like this, and everyone else got their heroes, and mine was Bill the Pony, which
is my hero fight 1 strength 1?
I never sniffed. Yeah. So I was like, so it's not a man and it's not overstrength 3, okay? Like, yeah, and I just didn't obviously land on Bill the Pony. And that made me very upset, so I thought I would put Bill the Pony as the bottom category. So it was a laugh at my expense. There we go. So, yes, as I mentioned, if you've never seen one of our tier lists before, if you are one of the best lists, you are aiming to be in our lemon category. And then descending down from there, our categories are named Silly Nervous, Dog, and then this week, Bill the Pony. So, first of all, we will kick things off where we ended with the Halls of Thranduil. Where do we put this list? It's Silly Nervous, surely. And now there's only 3 of us because Ali has gone. We can actually.
I was going to say, are you going to mention the fact that Ali has despawned?
It's a democracy for the Spotify listeners. Yes. It's Silly Nervous. Come on.
I'm not convinced. I think it might be.
Not
nervous.
Convinced. Nervous.
Yeah.
Halls of Thranduil.
Mm-hmm.
Never thought I'd hear it.
Nah.
That build of it.
Maybe that build. I'm not like 33 feels sort of low. He has got a lot of tech in there.
I think with the relatively limited round time that Ardacon always has, I think he might find himself losing games because he runs out of time. In fact, I would bet money that Jay comes to the team and says, "I just ran out of time," at least once over the course of the weekend. I bet you he will say that.
Probably will. Yeah. It does feel a bit low. I don't know.
It is low.
I don't think.
But is it nervous low though?
I think 33 is a perfectly acceptable number. I think in 2 hours, including deployment and everything, he's going to struggle to get into winning positions with this list, especially considering he has no banner. So I do think that this list inability to play fast and go is going to hurt him. It might not if he's really, really lucky and the scenarios are like all heavily favor shooting. Even in that situation, basically, if he was playing at 2.5 hours for 700 points, I'd back him. I'd call this Silly Nervous all day. But because Ardacon is notoriously tight for time,
it's a short round time.
Yeah, it's 2 hours is just about fine, but I think with deployment and fucking around between rounds, they're realistically the games are going to be 1 hour 45, and that is going to feel
they're going to feel
to win with
very
this.
short.
Yeah, they will feel
Vince,
short. They always do.
Are you swayed by Farmer's epic argument, or is Leggy OP and it's going to Silly Nervous?
I think Ardacon is notorious for being quite a rushed, or at least it feels like a rushed experience. And having that sort of army, unless you can play super quick against these, international players, it is going to be tough. It's not
being convinced, Vince. Am I putting it in nervous?
I just want to point out before anything else goes in, this may be a bit like, because we don't have any lists here that are actual shit. These are all good lists. None of them are bad. I think as a result of that, this list is going to look maybe a little like, if you compare it to another list on another day, you're going to be like, that in Nervous, really? But like,
Yeah.
otherwise, all the lists are going to be
Everything
Nervous or
goes
Lemon.
in.
Because
Yes,
literally
we do
nothing
sometimes
here is
run into that
actually
problem.
bad. So
No.
Yeah.
like, let's just stretch out a bit. Why not?
Try
There's
and
only
move it
7 of
around a
them.
little bit. Yeah, fine. So Army of the White Hand,
Lemon.
gotta be Lemon, surely.
It's good in
Yeah.
It's good in so many
So-
ways. It allows you to take early winning positions and play. Like, Evil's always better at that anyway. Like, good is really dependable at like grinding out the wins.
Reclaiming.
Yeah,
yes,
but like, yeah, exactly. If you were to increase the round time by half an hour, I'd increase all the good lists here by like a bunch. But because that's not what's happening, White Hand is up there for me. And I don't think that's not controversial. It's been one of the best lists in the game for the whole edition.
It has been.
That hasn't changed
so far. So that is a Lemon list through and through.
clearly. Yeah.
What about the Black Gate though? We gonna put the Black Gate above Halls of Thranduil?
I think that's also Nervous.
I agree with
Probably-
that, and I think above Halls of Thranduil, personally, for the reasons we've already stated.
Yeah.
Now I see it in Nervous, I'm sort of thinking the Black Gate might be better. Just with the troll and 40 models. I don't know.
Well, I think that
good.
Black Gate has 40 models. They're strength 46. You get up the board quick, and you've got like a little bit of chicanery
Bit of
for dealing with
magic,
back objectives.
like,
You've got a bit of magic for stuff slowing down enemy heroes. You've got the Eye of Sauron thing for the Gaze of Sauron or whatever it's called, to try and like mess with your opponent's back objectives to give you a bit more game winning power. I think this list is quite one dimensional apart from that, and so I don't think it's better than Nervous. I wouldn't mind seeing it above or below Halls of Thranduil, to be honest.
Yeah, it's arguments
Maybe-
for bubble.
Like, I
below,
don't.
but-
And again, I could be clear. I don't think this is a bad list at all. It's very clearly a good list. It's just, like, it maybe lacks the ability to break down some of the really top lists. Like, it doesn't have loads that it can do against, like Army of the White Hand, other than just being kind of hard. And it's like, cool,
Yeah, it
if your
just has to
trolls are
sit there
mobilized,
and-
if your trolls are mobilized every turn and the lightning
Are you
kills
doing
6
anything?
guys, like, how do you win? You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's not much
Other
else.
than
Yeah.
things going well for you. Like, I just think it's gonna it's good enough to win against a lot of lists, but it's gonna get run over by the actually Lemon lists out there. So I think Nervous is fine for that, personally.
Is it going below? I'm happy with it below.
Either way is fine. Like I said, I don't think it's bad. It's probably about the same. So either side for me.
Sure, we'll leave it there. Okay, Usurpers. Vince, what do you think on this one? Obviously, Farmer his list. So
let's put it in silly Nervous.
yeah, I must say I
think
was
silly Nervous feels
convinced
right.
by your argument there, Farmer. I haven't played against Usurpers. Obviously, I've read about it, heard things about it, but obviously 100 with it. But
Yeah.
looks like it's got a lot going for it.
I mean,
So,
I think it might
I
be
like
Lemon,
Wolf as
but
well.
I'm not necessarily going to argue with you. I feel like, because if it's in Silly Nervous, then when I win with it, I could be like, yeah, it's just all skill, baby.
You need that Ali King.
That's the way- that's the way it
Exactly.
goes.
A little
Nice,
bit
there
of
you go,
plausible
special.
deniability. Exactly. Yeah. Just
of course.
just a bit of a little bit of
But no,
questions about how good the list is before you go in.
It's all When I was looking at the lists, I sort of had a look at Wolf, and I think I had the sort of same, not realization, but like the same thing that you said, where I'd sort of looked at the profile ages ago, but hadn't actually looked at how it all ties together, and I was like,
I feel like
yeah.
his list appeared in the first his profile without his points and stuff appeared in the first
leaks and stuff,
releases,
wasn't
and
it?
I was like, what the hell is that?
Yeah.
That's rubbish. But then in context of the edition as a whole, it's definitely not rubbish, especially with the bonus to wound heroes. But like, that took a while to really sort of get a hang around. Like I said, it wasn't until someone used him on me, I was like, oh, actually, this guy's pretty solid,
And
he's a good all rounder.
Yeah, the unique 332 stat line. even just seeing that is pretty typical. That is kind of unique.
Well,
how many three? Name another 332 hero. Go.
So there was I'm pretty sure it's
You
Haleth
can't
332?
name one, Vince. You can't name
Haleth.
one.
Haleth is 332, isn't he?
I think he's 331.
The old
Okay,
Dane
that-
definitely used to be 332 back in
Yeah.
the day. I remember that because
Old
they never
Dane.
let D9 models have free fate back then. It was like not allowed.
That's
Anyway,
He's
he's
D9.
unique
He's good.
and
Wolf.
he's having a fight 6 striker with 3 might and 3 attacks and 3 wounds just makes this list a lot better.
Super, super good. Yeah. And a high model count. Okay. Minas Morgul, Vince's list. Farmer, what do you think?
It's either the strongest nervous or silly nervous. Personally,
Yeah, I think it's a pretty good. Yeah, I think it's right around this Hall's list.
I think at 700.
Surely this goes into silly nervous.
I think it's probably one of the best points levels for it. You've got the drum, which I like. The captains, captains with Blaze of the Dead are just big good. For 45 points, they're really good.
Yeah.
They hit really hard.
Witch King on Felbeast, I think,
it's just got so many tools, right?
No, Vince, if you had a Morgul Blade, mate, it might be silly nervous.
Maybe that's the...
difference.
I'll accept this as the bottom of silly nervous. I think, I mean, the thing, just to quickly go back to Usurpers, just for a tiny second, the only thing that I would say make it lemon is the fact that short round times strongly benefit lists like that a lot.
Yeah,
and I think the same is true here. So I think I'm happy to call this silly nervous because drum, Felbeast, like Witch King running out of will isn't really a huge issue when you play fast. Go. You know, you get up the board fast. Yeah, they shoot you, but then you're fighting in their board half, and you maybe hold off the break for the game, or you just you get a chance to get into winning position with your Felbeast. If you run into things that you need Morgul Blades to deal with, I will laugh. Also, fun fact, Morgul Blades are extremely good against Crebain as well. They're amazingly good against Crebain. And in a world where
taking a Morgul Blade on your Witch King so that you can deal with the birds.
Genuinely, the difference is if you don't have a Morgul Blade, a Crebain can tarp at him for like 3 turns easily. If you have a Morgul Blade, you can create a combat off a Crebain, kill it, and kill 2 more, which is
but then you got the Spectres that can pull them in.
Crebain are high intelligence, baby.
Well, not that high.
That's so funny. Oh yeah, I thought I'd take the Morgul Blade on my Witch King. I thought I'd be running into Tegrabane, so I took the Morgul Blade.
I mean, you have it. It gives you a tool to deal with them, which you don't have otherwise, other than just piling guys on them, which doesn't really work.
Yeah.
Let's really hope we don't end up in a world where we've got like 10 Army of the White Hands with like over 10 Crebain every tournament.
Listen, someone's got to be a trendsetter. Yeah, I think this is fine instead of nervous. I'm fine with it.
Yeah, but
the main thing it doesn't have is it's quite fragile to shooting and stuff. Like, it doesn't like Army of the White Hand because they just -1 to resist on your Witch King and then blast him and everything.
Yeah,
they nuke your guys and you don't have any shooting to fight back with. So that's why the drum is good, because you just yeet into their face as fast as possible.
Run towards it ASAP and hope you don't die on the way in. Okay, the Depths of Moria. I assume this is going in lemon. Is it going above or below the White Hand?
I think lemon
it has to go above White Hand, right?
Personally.
Yeah, has to. It's the #1 list.
I think when properly played this thing, especially at 700, it's really, really good.
Do you think we're going to see it nerfed in the FAQ, Dave Farmer?
No,
I don't think we will either. The FAQ is probably out, but it might be out by the time this goes live. So
the only thing I anticipate coming from an FAQ for Depths is mandatory Big Monster, or possibly even mandatory Balrog, which I would be sad about because I love the Watcher list. But like, I think that what they might do is say you have to take either the Balrog or the Watcher, and so you can't just have 85 goblins. Which I think is valid.
No nerf to this Balrog and goblins being mega OP.
Because that was the whole point. That was the whole point of making the Depths and the Moria list separate. That was the whole point.
Exactly. Yeah. So I feel like if you're not taking the Watcher or the Balrog, you probably shouldn't be allowed, which I think is fine. Some people would argue. I think the main person I've heard arguing this is Yaka, but I think that was only like just won a tournament with the Watcher and not the Balrog. So maybe he was a little salty.
Yes, well, they are ultimately found in the Depths, right? The Balrog and the Watcher. So that is.
And I mean, I wouldn't be mad if it was mandatory Balrog. I'd be like, yeah, fair enough, because that is kind of the point of the list.
Sense. Yeah,
and they are all about the theme this edition. So.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the only change I would anticipate to Depths personally.
Yeah. Okay. And then finally, as Ali isn't here, Khazad-dum. Vince.
You asked for Ali. Bill the Pony.
Bill the Pony, baby. We have to leave it in there for a minute. We have to let it settle for a minute, right? While Farmer explains why it's high.
Take a screenshot and send it to him.
Yeah, and send it. I will do that now. Yeah. Okay.
So I think this is probably borderline silly nervous. And the reason I think that is because, for the same reason that Halls of Thranduil is down there, this list is better at playing fast because it's actually got March in it, but also Dwarves be slow. And as with all the good lists, you're going to find yourself running up against time constraints. So one of the strengths of this list is the shooting, and you're not going to be able to do that. getting into a winning position with this list, especially against some of those lists that are above it. Like basically, I think this list would probably goes below Minas Morgul and above Halls of Thranduil.
See, I think it goes above Minas Morgul personally.
Nah, I think it's a better list, but I think in the format, if we're establishing the fact that time constraints are important in this tournament, it has to go below, surely.
But doesn't the time constraints, like for a dwarf list, obviously, yeah, Minas Morgul can also sort of get to places and then live at D6. Well, it's not all D6, but the dwarves.
It's not about getting to places and living. It's just about them having enough time to get through all the models. Like,
yeah.
I just think that, like, I really rate this list, and I just think that, again, if you're playing a much longer round, I'd probably say it's top of Silly Nervous, maybe higher than the Usurpers probably, but because the rounds are likely to be quite limited. Like, I found that playing Usurpers in short rounds at 800 points was just delicious because you just never broke, even because you have too many models, and the Crebain is so tough. So it's like, and then I found that these guys were the only army that really threatened that list. Obviously, that's a specific matchup, but for me, I think probably bottom of Silly Nervous.
I'm being outvoted.
I think
it's going below.
I think if you play that at 700, I think the Minas Morgul has the better setup because he can shoot you, but like if he stands still and shoots, most of the scenarios don't really reward you for doing that anymore. And if he doesn't shoot you, then you've just run into his face anyway, and you haven't even had to spend might to do it because you've just drummed your way up. And you've got a fell beast who can kill a bunch of stuff. Like, you want to be a bit careful around Durin because he's tough, but you don't have to kill Durin for that to work out. You just have to go smash up the dwarfs. And you've got Blades of the Dead. You haven't got Morgul Blade, but you do have Blades of the Dead.
I don't have the Morgul Blade.
Sorry, have I mentioned
you threw that in there? You threw that in there.
No, I just said the wrong thing. The Blades of the Dead, obviously, in that specific matchup, the Blades of the Dead give him a headache as well because it's like every time he loses a fight, he's killing him on 5s rather than 6s, which is a big downgrade for dwarves. Yeah,
I'm a Durin lover. What can I say? Look at him. What a stout figure.
Yeah. I think either way around is fine, but I think that's probably correct.
Yeah, fine.
I might be overrating the Balrog and maybe underrating the White Hand slightly, but I don't care. I love the
depths.
Balrog.
Depths. Yeah, the stats don't lie. So for the Spotify listeners, going from the bottom up to the top in Nervous in the last position, we have the Black Gate and then the Halls of Thranduil at the top of Nervous. Then at the bottom of Silly Nervous, we have the Khazad-dum list, then Vince's Minas Morgul list, then Farmer's Usurpers of Edoras list at the top of Silly Nervous, and then in Lemon, we have Army of the White Hand behind the Balrog, the Depths of Moria in the top spot in the Lemon category. Happy with those rankings? I think that's pretty unanimous.
Camille to win Ardacon.
Overall, Camille to win Ardacon.
Let's go.
Balrog, when I played him at Dewey's, did roll a 6 in every single turn when I had it ganged up on with scouts with +2 to wound and shit. And he just didn't not roll a 6 and it lived. And
he just kept flipping heads on the coin flip.
Yes.
Like a 52% chance to get a 6 on 4 dice.
There you go.
Just simply flip heads every time. It's that simple, boys.
And after like 4 turns of that, I had no scouts left, and that was the game over. So there you go. Yep. Camille will be watching, so shout out Camille. But yes, okay, I think that is going to do it. So thank you very much, Farmer, for joining us on this. We may see you on the live stream to defend your Ardacon crown if you make it to the finale. Who knows, the championship round. But yeah. Obviously, best of luck. Also, Vince, I will see you guys next weekend. And I hope to see everyone else watching over on the live stream. But that is going to close us out. So thank you very much, everyone, for watching another episode of the Gollum's Gamers podcast.